lonely, I have created creatures to keep you company. Now it's your job to name them.
Just give me 5 more minutes.
Wait, Adam. When you're done, you may eat the fruit of the trees and the fields, but stay away from the apple tree in the center of the garden. Adam, wake up!
I, Adam, by virtue of the power vested in me, do hereby name all you critters flying around in the sky, flyers, and all you things crawling around on the ground, crawlers, and all you things swimming around down there, swimmers, and your growlers, and your hoppers. There's so many of you. I'm going to have to start taking notes.
It took 6 days to get there, but the Garden of Eden was certainly worth it. Such beauty, such abundance, such tranquility. But one thing was still missing, and all God needed was one of Adam's ribs to create her.
Ouch!
Robins, dolphins, lions, rabbits. Where am I? What am I?
Flyers and hoppers and crawlers and swimmers, four-legged runners and eight-legged skimmers, growlers and howlers and whoopers and whistlers. We're all a part of God's master plan. Hunters and gatherers and scavengers and fishers, anteaters, plant-eaters, nuts and berry pickers, woodpeckers, hole-diggers, nesting and builders. We're all a part of God's master plan. Some of us are mean and scary. Some of us are soft and nice. Some of us are quite hairy. And some of us are bald as mice. Hey, I'm not bald. Flyers and hoppers and crawlers and swimmers, four-legged runners and eight-legged skimmers, growlers and howlers and whoopers and whistlers. We're all a part of God's master plan. Hunters and gatherers and scavengers and fishers, anteaters, plant-eaters, nuts and berry pickers, woodpeckers, hole-diggers, nesting and builders. We're all a part of God's master plan.
Sitting down at the edge of a pond, Eve gazed at her own reflection.
Oh, I could, whatever I am, I could be a pretty one. With a little makeup and a few accessories. I think I'll just walk over there and collect a few of those stars to put in my hair.
Dear Diary, the new creature with the long hair is a good deal in the way. Always following me about, and it names everything that comes along, and always with the same explanation, because it looks like the thing. Why, yesterday, she named the dodo without a second glance. Why, it looks no more like a dodo than I do.
For Adam, the Garden of Eden was no longer paradise. Constantly pursued by Eve, who was constantly talking, he yearned for the good old days when he had all his ribs. But the animals of the Garden of Eden gradually discovered Eve's caring, inquisitive nature.
Did you hear? Eve fell in the pond yesterday and nearly strangled.
Yes, and that made her feel sorry for the fish, forced to live in such a cold, suffocating place. So she put them in Adam's bed, where they could breathe more easily and stay warm.
She spent hours studying our mouths the other day, wondering why we, lions, eat grass and flowers.
When it looks like our teeth were designed to eat each other? Eve always knows the right place to scratch, right behind my ears. And somehow, she knew that I like to have my tummy rubbed.
Dear Diary, the moon got loose last night and slid down and fell out of the sky. It breaks my heart to lose something so beautiful. I followed the man around again yesterday, suggesting ways to improve the estate and making myself useful to him by naming things. He has no knack for either of those tasks. In fact, I'm beginning to wonder what he is good for. I never see him do anything. But for some reason, I love to be with him.
But then, one day, while gazing at the pond, Eve met a new friend, a snake.
Enjoying your reflection, Eve?
My what?
Your reflection in the pond. You see, when waves traveling in one medium arrive at another in which their velocity is different, parts of the energy turns back into the first medium. In this case, the waves are light rays, which appear to come from a literally inverted replica of a luminous source.
Gosh, I wish I was educated like you.
Would you really like that?
Oh, yes.
You know that apple tree in the center of the garden? Some may say that ignorance is bliss, but that kind of thing can lead something amiss. Oh, if you only knew what you don't know, just take this apple that I bestow.
We want to know what it's all about. Knowledge is a thing we can live without. We want to reason why we are here. Thinking lets us make things more clear.
Do you know the distance to the sun and where it goes when the day is done? Oh, the multitude that you could achieve if only you were not so naive.
We want to know what it's all about. Knowledge gives us things we can't live without. We want to reason why we are here. Thinking lets us make things more clear. Knowledge is right, so just take advice.
It was a mighty tasty apple, considering the lateness of the season. And so it was that Adam and Eve received their eviction notice from the Garden of Eden. So it was that the lions began seeking more protein in their diet. So it was that Eve began the wifely tradition of seeing to it that her husband was properly dressed. And so it was that Adam, who used to find the day of rest so boring, began looking forward to Sundays, because superintending all week does tire a body so.
Did you hear? Eve had a baby and named it Cain.
Poor Adam can't figure out where Eve got it. He thinks it's either a fish or a bear.
He's totally bewildered. Why does the fish make devilish noises when it's not satisfied and say, goo, when it is? Why does Eve spend half the night carrying the fish, patting its back, and making soothing sounds to it? Obviously, the fish just wants to go back to the water.
Obviously, Eve has lost her mind. But Eve still knows just the right spot to scratch, right behind my ear.
And so the years passed, and Eve soon had a second son, and named him Abel.
Dear diary, they're boys. We found it out long ago. Abel is a good boy, but if Cain had stayed a fish, it would have improved him.
Dear diary, I love certain birds for their song, but I did not love Adam for his singing. Yet, I encourage him to sing, even though his singing sours the milk. I can get used to that kind of milk.
After all these years, I see that I was wrong about Eve in the beginning. At first I thought she talked too much, but now I'd be sad to have that voice fall silent.
I had to have companionship. I was made for it, I think.
It is better to live outside the garden with her than inside the garden without her.
The garden is lost, but I have my family, and I am content.
And these were the words that Adam inscribed on Eve's tombstone. Wherever she is, there is Eden.